Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here in Hungary at Balaton Park Circuit, the brand new racetrack. We had a beautiful, wonderful opening race yesterday. Two more coming up today. Ethan Isher from pole, and there's a massive lock-up. Ethan Isher has done it again. Kirill Kutzkov taking the lead. Ethan Isher immediately jumping ahead of Oscar Wirtz to second. Nikesh under pressure. This was a dramatic moment. Bad luck is simply sticking to Michel this weekend. It's Kirill Kutzkov who scores his first victory in the Central European Formula 4 race. Great race.
Hello and one more time welcome to Red Bull Ring Austria. Absolutely beautiful and wonderful racing facility in Styria near the Klagenfurt and near the Graz, two great Austrian cities, and this is absolutely wonderful place to have a race weekend of any series, I believe. Right now we are going to watch the last race of the weekend of the FIA Central European Zone Formula 4 Championship. So one more time, we are ready to have plenty of racing action on track, and we can't wait to see another great battles on the racetrack between fierce and dedicated young drivers. One of the most talented young open-wheel drivers from all around the world are ready to race again for the final time here on Red Bull Ring. So this time it will be the Romanian driver Luca Visoreanu starting from pole position with number 11. Just next to him it will be our championship leader, the home hero Austrian Oscar Wirtz, the son of Alexander Wirtz, starting from P2 with car number 25. In row number 2, starting from P3, it is the Swiss driver from Jensen Motorsport, driving car number 22, Enea Frey. Next to him, starting from a P4, it's Maximilian Popov, the driver starting under the Italian license. In row number 3, it is Davide Larini starting from P5, the son of Nicola Larini, the former Formula 1 or WTCC Italian driver. And next to him, starting from P6, is the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic, who won the first race yesterday. Starting from row number 4, from P7, it's Kamal Mrad with car number 70, and next to him, last year's champion Ethan Isher, starting with the car number 21, prepared by Jensen Motorsport. From row number 5, from a P9, it is Jonathan Correa, and next to him, it is Matusz Ryba, starting from P10. Row number 6, starting from a P11, it's Chinese driver Shimo Zhang. And from P12, it's Czech driver Miroslav Mikeš. Row number 7, starting from P13, it's Luka Savu. And starting from P14, it's Andrea Kostic. Row number 8, from the Czech Republic, starting from P15, it's Jan Koller. Next to him, it's Marek Micik, starting from P16. Row number 9, from P17, starting American driver Everett Steck, and next to him it's Nathaniel Berube, who was forced to retire during the race number 2. From row number 10, it's Viktor Dobzhansky starting from P19, and Michalina Sabai starting from P20. Row 11, P21 for Kornelia Olkucka, and P22 for Franciszek Halatnik, and row 12, starting from P23, it's Kirill Kutskov, and starting from P24, from the very last place, another Czech driver, Max Karhan. So 24 cars ready to go racing again, and for the final time this weekend here on Red Bull Ring, we can see the green flag from the marshal, so we are just about to start. So 5 red lights are out and we are racing again, and I believe it was a great start by the Romanian driver Luca Vistoreanu, who is maintaining his lead right now through the first corner. So far so good for all the drivers, no contacts, no incidents, so it was very smooth through the corner number 1. But we are going into the turn number 3, and there is a great battle between the two drivers, and a huge lockup by one of the drivers from BHM Racing at the moment. It might be Maximilian Popov, who started the race from P4, and he was just too quick in the braking zone before the turn number 3, and another huge lockup by BHM driver. Fortunately, no crash, no contact, but one of the Jensen Motorsports car was forced off the track into the gravel zone, but the driver was able to rejoin, and that's the most important thing, because we have no yellow flags, no safety car, another driver off the track. This is a great battle of 3 BHM cars. And so far, it's really good for Luca Vistoreanu. The Romanian driver started from pole position, and he is still leading the race, and also he is taking the advantage from the battles which are going on behind him. So very good start of the race for the Romanian, and we need to find where is Oscar Wurz at the moment. Oscar Wurz still on P2, so it wasn't that bad for the Austrian driver driving for Jensen Motorsport. So still second place for Oscar Wurz at the moment. So it is Vistoreanu ahead of Wurz, Kamal Mrad on P3, Davide Larini on P4, Ethan Isher, last year's champion, in P5. One of the cars is entering the pit lane, and look at this huge battle into the turn number 3. Multiple cars going side by side into the third corner of the Red Bull Ring circuit. Great battle for many positions at the moment. One more time, it's a race on 25 minutes, and there is one of the BHM Racing cars charging and attacking, and now there's a spin! There is a spin, and I can see a broken front wing, so this might be a safety car because of the debris on the track. So we're gonna see quite quickly what decision are the race stewards going to make about this. We have a yellow flag at turn number 5. So I believe that the marshals will be able to remove the debris from the track, so the safety car won't be necessary at the moment. But anyway, still great pace by the leading Romanian driver Luca Visoreanu, leading the race with a decent gap of 1.5 seconds, just ahead of Oscar Wurz. And look at this battle. It is Visoreanu ahead of Oscar Wurz, but yes, we have a safety car, so after all, the safety car is necessary, so the race will be neutralized. So this is a moment of peace, moment to breathe for all the drivers on track, and we have another car off the track on the narrow tarmac zone behind the gravel zone. So that's another reason for safety car period. And you can also see on the umbrellas that the wind is getting stronger and stronger. The weather is changing absolutely for sure, but I believe we will remain on a dry track for the rest of the day. But of course, you may know from the news that in some parts of the Middle Europe, quite heavy storms are causing a lot of problems, but fortunately it's not the case of Austria this weekend. So we still have a very smooth race weekend, although the Friday's qualifying, for example, for ESETCup was on the wet track, and for example, Miro Konopka said to me that it was a great advantage for him to go into the qualifying on the wets, because that's the reason why he claimed the pole position for the first sprint race of ESETCup. Nevertheless, let's get back here. This is the car number 31, and that's Kirill Kutskov. Bad news for this driver, who was definitely a championship contender before this race weekend, because he finished on B4, B3 and B1 during the first race weekend on Balaton Park near Balaton Lake in Hungary. But fortunately, or I'm sorry, unfortunately for Kirill Kutskov, he has 3 retirements out of 3 races here on Red Bull Ring. So that's the worst possible race weekend for Kirill Kutskov. Pretty unfortunate for this young driver. So he's gonna hope that he will come back stronger on the Slovakia ring, where the next round of Central European Zone Formula 4 Championship will be taking place. So we are still under the safety car, because the marshals need to put 2 cars behind the barrier and clean the track from the debris. Until then, the race will remain neutralized. And of course, this is very important race for the Austrian Oscar Wurz, because he is the championship leader, and after 5 races this season he has 84 points, and the driver in second place, Kirill Kutskov, has 58, and he's definitely not gonna add any points here on Red Bull Ring, because as I said, he has a 3 retirements to his name from this race weekend. So bad situation for Kutskov, but good race weekend for Oscar Wurz. He has not finished on podium yet here on Red Bull Ring. Yesterday he finished on P5 in the first race, and today he was on P8 in the second race, but right now he is having quite a good chance of scoring a podium in the final race of the weekend, as he is on the second place. behind the Romanian driver Luca Visoreanu, and it will be quite good for him and quite happy moment for all the Austrian fans here on the circuit to grab at last one podium finish on the home soil. Next time he will have the opportunity to do so on a Salzburg rink where the season will finish in the second half of September, so he will try to do it now, of course. Safety car still on the track, and we still don't have a message from the race control about the restart of the race, so we can expect that the safety car will stay on the track for at last one more lap. And it is just beautiful around here. Beautiful Austrian circuit in the heart of Austrian Alps. If you walk around, you can see, I would say, a large amount of snow at the top of the mountains. And as I heard, the skiing conditions on the Austrian glaciers are quite good right now in the second half of May. So maybe next time you go to Austria after this race weekend, you go for skiing. But anyway, let's be focused on the race. And as I said, one more lap at last behind the safety car, as the track is still not ready to go green again. And now we got the message, safety car in this lap, so next time around we will be racing. Good news for all the drivers, all the fans enjoying themselves on the grandstand just above the turn number 1, which is, by the way, absolutely perfect spot for spectators, because you see a lot of action every race. You can watch the race start on your own eyes. You can watch so many maneuvers in the first corner. So it's a great place to be when you decide to visit a race weekend on Red Bull Ring. And it doesn't matter if it is Formula 1, DTM or MotoGP. This might be one of the best grandstands in the world to watch car racing on your own eyes. So that's a secret tip from me. So the safety car is already picking up the pace, and you can see the Romanian driver Luca Visoreanu tactically waiting for pushing the throttle to the maximum at the right moment. So it will be the Romanian driver restarting the race on the first place, just ahead of Oscar Wurz, Kamal Mrad on P3, Davide Larini on P4, and Ethan Isher on P5. Here we go again. We need to cross the safety car line first, and after that the drivers will have a chance to legally overtake each other. So let's go racing again. Green flag in the air. And it is still Luca Visoreanu leading the race ahead of Oscar Wurz. Oscar Wurz also racing for Jensen Motorsport, so don't be confused by the unusual colors of his car, because usually the Jensen Motorsport cars have the black and blue livery, but it's not the case of Oscar Wurz. And now Oscar Wurz needs to be defensive, because Kamal Mrad is quite close behind him. But so far Oscar Wurz is still on P2, but this battle will go on, and behind him it's Davide Larini against Andrej Petrovic and Ethan Isher. Huge lockup for one of the PHM cars, And most likely that was Maximilian Popov going on P9, fighting with other Jensen Motorsport cars. That's Enea Frey and Mateusz Ryba, the Swiss and Slovakian driver ahead of Maximilian Popov. So that was a dramatic situation. And Maximilian Popov was nearly crashing into the Jensen Motorsport cars ahead of him, but he managed to avoid the contact between him and the other cars. And that's a good news definitely for his competitors. 11.5 minutes to go. So more or less we are at the halfway. So many cars going off the track in the last corner, so the drivers need to watch the track limits. And there is a battle, and it's a battle for P2 between Oscar Wurz and Kamal Mrad at the moment. Yes, and Kamal Mrad takes the P2. Oscar Wurz is behind him, and the battle is still on. Right now it's Oscar Wurz going from the outside. No chance of overtaking here. And still, Luca Visserano is taking the advantage from the battles going on behind him. We have a yellow flags at the turn number 2 and also at the turn number 3. There was a spun car number 6, and that's the Czech driver Miroslav Mikeš. But we are green again. Look at the battle between Wurz and Mrad. And also watch the other BHM racing cars behind them. Davide Larini is fighting quite hard against the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic. Andrej Petrovic yesterday won the race number 1, and he was pretty unfortunate today morning because he was starting from the front row, but made a mistake, and then he was gaining up to the front from a P18. After all, it wasn't so bad for the Serbian because he managed to finish on P6, so it was great recovery by the Serbian driver today. And right now we have a Serbian driver again in the podium fight against his teammate Davide Larini. Nothing is lost, nothing has been decided yet. Luca Visserano has a decent gap of 1.3 seconds over Kamal Mrad. There was one of the Jensen cars going slowly into the pits. And that, unfortunately, was Ethan Isher, very quick Swiss driver and last year's Formula 4 Central European Zone champion. So bad luck for the Swiss driver of Jensen Motorsport. We also have Jonathan Correa, Kirill Kutskov and Lucas Savo out of the race. So 21 cars still on the track, and 3 cars were forced to retire. Still 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go at the moment, and still very good position for Luca Visserano. The Romanian, of course, is chasing his first ever victory in Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. So this can be a great day for Romanian driver and for the Romanian motorsport as well. Last year it was the season of dominance of Ethan Isher, but I believe this time we're gonna find a new champion of Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. And it is just great to see how is this championship fastly growing. But look at this battle between Jensen car and BHM Motorsport car. It's number 22 of Enea Frey fighting against the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic. So that's the fight for P5 at the moment. So far the Serbian driver Petrovic has been the stronger one. You can see him here driving the 49 car. And there are the first warnings because of the track limits, so that's what I was talking about earlier today. Drivers needs to be careful about respecting the track limits, especially at the exit of the last corner, because there is a huge tarmac zone at the outside, and it's very, very easy to cross the track limits there. This is the place I'm talking about right now. Yes, that's it. And you could see Enea Frey going too wide again, so young Swiss driver needs to be careful too. But we need to be focused on the lead battle as well, because Kamal Rath right now is the fastest driver at the top, and he is only 0.4 of a second behind driver number 11, Luca Visoriano. There was a problem for one of the cars at the exit from the last turn, but we remain green, and that's the most important thing. 6 minutes to go, and I believe we can expect great lead battle between Luca Visoriano and Kamal Rath, and also Oscar Wurz is quite close behind them. So the top 3 drivers closely together with less than 6 minutes to go. Last time around, Luca Visoriano did 1:33.2. Meanwhile, Kamal Rath did 1:32.9. So he was quicker by 0.3 of a second. But anyway, Kamal Rath is still not in the striking distance to attack the leading Romanian driver, and also his mirrors are full of Oscar Wurz's car. Another warning, then this time it's a warning for number 70, so it's a warning for Kamal Rath. He needs to be careful about the track limits. He does not, or he doesn't need to get a penalty. He can't afford to do a second penalty because he would lost his position, and that will be pretty unfortunate for him. But right now there's an attack. There is an attack for the first place, and Kamal Rath is taking the first place away from Luca Visoriano, and he is keeping the defensive line. So great job by Kamal Rath. I was talking about him, that he needs to respect the track limits to avoid the penalty. But right now he made a bold move and took the lead, which means Luca Visoriano is currently on P2 and Oscar Wurz is just behind him on P3. But look at the battle between Visoriano and Wurz, because Oscar Wurz would love to overtake Visoriano as well. And obviously that is his target right now, and behind Wurz and Visoriano we can also see Davide Larini waiting for his opportunity. So 3.5 minutes to go, and Kamal Rath is the new race leader, just ahead of Luca Visoriano. Behind him Oscar Wurz, behind Wurz is Davide Larini, behind Larini it's Andrei Petrovic, then it's Enea Frey, then it's Maximilian Popov, then it's Mateusz Ryba, then it's Andrea Kostic. Behind him Chinese driver Shimo Zhang, behind Zhang it's Jan Koller, then Max Karhent, Everett Stuck, Marek Micik, Viktor Dobrzanski, Franciszek Halatnik and other drivers. And we have a 2-second penalty for number 20. And who is that? It's Mateusz Ryba. So 2-second penalty for Mateusz Ryba for abusing the track limits. And look at this battle again. Right now it is Oscar Wurz against Luca Visoriano. And Oscar Wurz is taking the inside line. So the Austrian driver takes the P2 right now, and maybe Davide Larini will quickly follow him. He is looking for the inside, and he has the inside line. Great battle between Larini and Visoriano. But right now it's a better exit for the Romanian driver, who keeps his third place at the moment. 2.5 minutes to go of the race. Kamal Rath is in the lead. Gap is 0.7 of a second between him and Visoriano, between him and Wurz at the moment, of course, because Wurz is ahead of Visoriano. We just need to refresh our live timing here on the main straight. So one more time, it's Kamal Murat ahead of Oscar Wurz. 9/10 of a second between Murat and Wurz. With Serrano on P3 and Davide Larini closely following him on a P4. And these four cars are separated from the rest of the field at the moment. There is more than a 1.5 second between Larini and Andrej Petrovic going on P5. 1.5 minutes to go. So we have 2 laps to go at the moment. Another warning for number 10. That's ESETCup going on P13. American driver driving another BHM racing car, but that has nothing to do with the lead battle. And it looks very good for Kamal Murat. But of course, it is not over yet. And the Australian Kamal Murat took 7th and 3rd place this weekend. And it would be absolutely perfect for him to finish the weekend with winning the last race. 40 seconds to go, which means right now we are entering the last lap of the race, last lap of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship race number 3 here on Red Bull Ring. And nothing has been decided yet. We still need to be focused on these 4 cars running up on the front. Kamal Murat ahead of Oscar Wurz, ahead of Luca Visoriano, ahead of Davide Larini. So who will be the winner at the end? Time's up. So this should be declared as a last lap. Mistake by Kamal Murat as he locked up into the turn. But fortunately for him, he managed to stay on a racetrack. Didn't go off the track into the gravel zone, because that would be disaster for him. Oscar Wurz is just too close. And he would take an advantage from such a mistake, that's quite sure. But it looks better and better for Kamal Murat. We are right now in the last sector. This is the last corner of Red Bull Ring circuit. And let's wait for the checkered flag. Yes, the checkered flag is out and Kamal Murat wins the last race of Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here on Red Bull Ring. Oscar Wurz is taking home 2nd place. Luca Visoriano from Romania starting from pole position, coming home on a P3. Also great result for the Romanian driver. Davide Larini finishing on a P4 with another BHM Racing. So it's P1 and P4 for BHM, P2 for Jensen Motorsport, and P3 for Real Racing. Then it's Enea Frey on P5 representing Jensen Motorsport, and then another 2 BHM drivers, Andrej Petrovic on P6 and Maximilian Popov on P7. Great race for Slovakian driver Matusz Ryba finishing on P8 for Jensen Motorsport, just ahead of another Jensen car driven by Andrea Kostic on P9. Chinese driver Shimo Zhang racing for BBM Racing, finishing on P10. P11 for Jan Koller, the Czech driver, also from BBM Racing. P12 for another Czech driver, Max Karhan, finishing on P12 with his car number 144, prepared by Jensen Motorsport. ESETCup on P13 for BHM Racing. Viktor Dobzhansky on P14 for AS Motorsport. Marek Micik on P15 for Sape Motorsport. Miroslav Mikeš on P16 for JMT Racing. František Halatnik on P17 for Orlen Janik Motorsport. Michalina Sabaj on P18 for AS Motorsport. Then it's Nathaniel Berebi on P19 for Mafia Racing, just ahead of his teammate Cornelia Okutska, finishing on P12. Ethan Isher, Lucas Savu, Kirill Kutskov and Jonathan Correa. These 4 drivers were forced to retire during the final race of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here on Red Bull Ring. So the weekend is over, and what a weekend it was for the racers and also for the fans here on Red Bull Ring. We enjoyed plenty of racing action, some great battles, some great moves, and I believe that the rest of the season will be just as exciting as it was here on Red Bull Ring. You can see the final classification one more time, and I can tell you this, we gonna continue on Slovakia Ring on 7th, 8th and 9th of June. Then another races on Most Autodrome on 3rd and 4th of August. Then another race in the Czech Republic on 7th and 8th of September. We will be racing in Brno, and then the season final on 21st and 22nd of September. One more time in Austria on Salzburg Ring. Thank you very much and goodbye.